What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. And man, honestly, let's talk about Pat Bev went on First Take, and he went 2 days in a row, but I haven't really seen what he said the second day. The first day we're gonna talk about that because that's what was going viral, and that was literally creating some hoopla and just had the the hoop world in storm. You know what I'm saying? And kind of let's just look at it, right? Pat Bev went on there and just was talking to shit. He was talking to shit, and a lot of it you could just see the distaste. You can see that there's hate. There's just bad blood between him and CP3. It doesn't matter if what he was saying was true or not, right? You know me. I don't have no biases. It don't matter if I like you, if I rate you, if you sussed in this category, and we're gonna talk about it, right? It's just we talk about the footage first, everything else second, right? The biases or who I love come from the footage. It's not like I have biases. Like I just talk about the footage. You know what I'm saying? And I be truthful to the footage because I'm authentic and I love the game and I'm a purist. So I just can't cap. It's just not in my blood. It's a disservice to just the game as a whole. If you love the game and you appreciate it to this magnitude, you're just not gonna say, you just can't cap with certain, you just can't cap about the game. You can't. Maybe 1-2 times is a funny joke, but at the end of the day, it's not, you can't joke about something you love. You know what I'm saying? You maybe make jokes here and there and just laugh about some shit. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it and you're really having a conversation, it's about, you're authentic as can be. And when it comes to the game, right? So, especially if you're a purist. So, again, Pat Bev did say some things when he went up there. He did say some things that were valid, right? He said that, especially in the game, he said that if Chris Paul is looking like a cone. Now him saying Chris Paul's a cone in other years and that people pick on him. I mean, if people around the league, I think that one or two people, maybe his teammates, maybe PG, maybe some guys like that might have said that. I don't think around the league man's is saying he's a cone because Chris Paul has been known, and especially for his height, has been known as a solid defender. Like he hasn't been getting abused, mismatch one-on-one. Like he hasn't been. When he's now hella versus Luka and stuff like that, yeah, he might be a cone now. But Pat Bev also got abused by Luka. We've seen that to the point he was unplayable in some series versus this guy. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. So now what he was saying, the one thing that I said that he was saying that was very valid, that I've seen, he said a lot of things, but the one thing that was very valid, obviously the way he said it with his energy, I didn't like, but you have to rate if you're saying it with your chest, if you're saying it with your chest, say it with your chest. But the words I took, because I don't look at the energy and stuff like that more so. If what you're saying something is true, the antics you do around that, I don't really pay attention to. I want to see, is what you're saying true? I hold weight to the sentiment you're saying. And what he was saying in this game, if Chris Paul is looking fugazi and getting picked on, which he was getting picked on. And then in the same breath, you're not providing offense to offset that. Because even there's games Luka's getting picked on, but he's providing offense that you don't take him out. Jokic gets picked on, Embiid gets picked on, but they provide offense, which is why Rudy Gobert becomes unplayable. Pat Bev sometimes becomes unplayable. These guys that are defenders first and don't really have offense, if they get picked on and they're getting hunted, you have to come out. Lou Will, he's getting hunted and he's not doing that much on offense, come out. And it was valid. It's very valid that he said, Ty Lue, don't care about no feelings. He's going to pull the trigger. Monty took out the wrong guy. They're picking on Ayton, which he did get hunted on. But Chris Paul was also getting hunted on and wasn't doing nothing offensively. Take him out. Try something else. And that's very valid. That's very, very valid. I'm not going to knock that. The energy he said it with, saying he's a cone, we call him a cone and all that extra shit. I don't believe that man just be calling him a cone. Maybe his teammates, yes, they call him cone because, again, it's context. When you're playing an opponent and you're already in this mind state, you're already in this, that's the context. You're already in this mindset where you look at the other team, even if you actually rate him, even if you actually rate LeBron, even if you actually rate CP3, you actually rate KD, you're not going to play the game looking like I rate this guy. You're going to look at him, yo, he's weak. Yo, we can kill this man. You're always going to have that about the opponent because you're hyping yourself up to get yourself to a certain type of ability, certain type of mental state where you're going to kill, you're going to hunt a man. You're going to be a killer. You can't be a killer while looking at this guy like, yo, he's elite, and you're fearful Like it just contradicts itself. It's going to affect your balance. It's going to affect your aggressiveness. If you're looking at a guy and you're already fearful of this guy, it's going to affect you. This is why I said about DeRozan when he already is looking at LeBron when he's with the Raptors. Like if I had him on my team, we would have won too. Like you're already looking at this guy fearful. It's going to show in your play. You have to look at this guy's like, yo, F that man. Forget that man. Who is that man? Yo, he ain't shit. Not even nice. Yo, he's weak. Yo, you play him with physicality. He's not doing that shit. Like that's how they talk in the locker room. Even though that guy's elite, even though it's KD they're talking about, but that's how you're gonna talk about him. It's LeBron. Yo, he ain't even nice like that. Sag off him. He gets no buckets. It's Giannis. Yo, yeah, he run into the paint. Yo, cut that shit off. Sag off him. He ain't getting buckets. He's not nice like that. You force him to shoot, we win this game. That's how mans are gonna talk with that aggressiveness. So if mans are gonna talk about CP3, he's a baby. Yo, dog, switch on him. Just kill him in the post. He's a baby. He's a cone. Yo, what are we talking about? Kill him. Like that's the energy mans are gonna talk with when you're hooping. So does that mean around the league now every day, like when mans aren't playing, mans literally look at Chris Paul like he's a weak defender, like he's a Steph Curry or something like that? Like he's a Trae Young or something like that? No, that's cap. I don't believe that. So he took something out of context, and yes, they might have said those exact words, but it was in context. There's no context applied. Those words were said in the heat of a battle. Those words were said while you're the opposing team and you're about to face them. It's not said when you're just sitting back and you do a GM survey and you just talk to mans like, yo, this is what we think about Chris Paul around the league. Like, that's cap, which is why you see Dame speak out like, yo, what are we doing here, fam? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, this is why, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just different. I read between the lines. When you're just a hooper, you just know certain things. You know what I mean? There's certain unwritten rules. There's certain things when if you've been nice too, and you've been in those contexts, you've been in those scenarios, you've been in those, those battles, you just been there, whether it's professional or not, you just been, and mans are actually competitive and like mans are nice. You're playing another nice team. Like you've been in those battles. You just like, you know what I'm saying? You just know certain things. You just know certain things because you've done it too. Whether obviously different scale, yes. But you just know certain things. This is why I could speak on no man could tell me. I don't care who it is. No man could tell me what I'm saying is cap. What I'm saying is not truthful. What I'm saying is not IQ. That's what I do. Because at the end of the day, if you were to speak with some of these players behind closed door, and I never have, but if you were to speak with them, you will hear them say things that I'm saying. Banks is going to be right 90% of the time because, again, it's about the footage. I'm biased. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you look at it, I'm not mad at what Pat Bev said about in that one game 7 context scenario. Chris Paul's looking like a cone, whatever. But now you're applying it to, like, you're trying to tarnish his name just in general because of this one upset. Other upsets he had, yes, but a lot of it is ailing, a lot of it is context, a lot of it is injuries. Even now is injury. So, again, you're now trying to make it seem like he was never a lead or like, especially when you are a role player, like what Matt Barnes said, certain players, you could talk about stuff and be rightful about stuff, but the energy and how you talk about it dictates on the level of caliber of player you are, right? Which is why people talking about Russ, like you could talk about Russ, you're a role player, yes, this, that, and third, but like the way you talk, the energy you give can only come from a LeBron, come from a guy on that caliber. You can't be a role player giving that kind of energy when you've never done what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to this. You can say what you want to say and it's truthful and this man, he's never done this. Like, he's always been da-da-da-da. You can say truthful things, but when you're talking with that, we know what that energy is. That like, I don't rate you. If we were to square up, we'll square up. I mean, you can say that behind closed doors, yeah, but on public forums, like, come on now. You're not that guy. You're not that guy. And again, a part of me does still rate it because anybody who's going to say with their chest what they would say behind closed doors, say it on public, I do rate that. There's multiple views you could take this. I still rate that. I'm always going to be someone who when you only say something behind closed doors and you don't say something on camera and you're capping, I'm always going to be someone that rates the man that whatever he says on camera, he's like that behind closed doors. Like I'm always going to rate that. That's always going to be rateable. But again, I can understand the other side where it's like, dog, you're not like that, yo. How the audacity for you to talk about me, yo, when you're just a role player and you're talking with that energy. Like I also rate that too because it's truthful. Dog, come on now. This is why Shaq and Kobe, when they're going back and forth in media, no, like they'll square up in practice, whatever the case. Like they're both elites. We go back and forth, man. Other man's going back and forth, Kyrie, LeBron, whoever going back and forth is not a point of this man can't say nothing because we're both elite. Did what he say true or did it not? You know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to this. So that's kind of like was my main takeaway from just obviously, yes, Pat Bev, given this energy that he was given, I did rate some of it to a certain extent, but then there's another spectrum, another side where it's like certain things just some things you're saying, Pat Bev, like, come on now. You don't even really believe that at heart. Like he took the more wild approach, and a lot of it maybe is ratings, a lot of it is content created, and you can understand that someone who creates content, but I'm not the type that caps to create content or like over boost things to create content. If I do that, I'm like laughing right after I say it because man's know it's just cap, it's just a funny moment for 2 seconds. But like to say it with your chest and be actually amped and adamant about it, like that's like what I guess these new content creators be doing. There's a whole side of it, like Kevin Samuels, a lot of these guys would do like create like viral things with that energy and say it with their chest and just over boost certain things in the way they say it just to get, reaction. And, Pat Bev, he's more animated. He does that. When he finally won a playoff game or won the playing game, man went on, to stanchion, went on the scores table and started celebrating like it was the championship. You know what I mean? Like, so like it would be him to overdo it. That's what my point for Pat Bev is, the overdoing. If he just came on there talking, being real about Chris Paul and certain things, I mean, yes, you can. But the energy and the way you took it to now was too far, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of players probably feel like that. Dame obviously felt like that. Matt Barnes felt like that. A lot of the players, the real ones, are going to feel like that because it's like, now when you go too far, now it's like when we could square up, now we got to look at who you are and who you are and who's saying it. If they went on there and said it with that chest, people will be like, "Woo, it's battle now." It's the same thing like when Shaq and Dame are there, their hip hop, when they're going back and forth and they're saying it with their chest and having a rap battle. You know what I'm saying? A rap beef or whatever. Man's are just their eyes like, I'm taking Shaq, I'm taking Dame. It's not like Dame can't say that. It's not like Shaq can't say that. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where it's like when you're on an elite level period, like you could speak, you could say it with your chest, but again, you know what I mean? Honestly, like it goes both ways, but for the most part, like there's certain things I didn't rock with that Pat Bev was saying. Now again, certain things he said was valid, like I said, but we'll see. Like, what else did he say? I'm trying to think. It was just a blur. Like, it was kind of a blur of what he was saying. He was just talking his shit. He was just talking a lot of shit. And it was funny to see. It was, because the side of you just like, you're laughing because you're like a part of me, a huge part of me was like, I just wish like we could just see players talk like this. And it's so hard. Like, I wish that we could just see players just without no filter, just talk like this. Like, this is why I was loving Kyrie on Twitch, because we know this media trained shit that man's talk. And that's why I love Katie on Twitter. Like, man just say with their chest and talk how they really talk. This is how man's really talk. That barbershop talk, like when you that camera shit is cat. Like what I'm doing, like this camera shit, like you see me, like it like this is more believable because me off camera and me here is the same shit. But it's cap. Like there's that energy. There's certain things that you'll say that's off it that like mans don't want to hear. Mans are gonna take it in a sensitive era. Oh my God, how are you gonna say that? This career, this dog. We don't care about this career. In that moment, you was frail. You was mentally frail. Your palms was sweaty. Yo, we gonna talk about that. You're not nice like that, fam. Like the way, you know what I mean? Like this is how mans talk, like on the court. This man's talking in the locker room. This is how man's talk. You know what I mean? That like this is real life, every day. How man's talk. How Pat Bev is talking. This is how man's talk, yo. And I just wish that we can get to a spot or get to a place where that could be shown. And mans can't be sensitive, but again, it's hard because now that talk will affect this brand deal and this deal and this deal and this deal. Now this whole fan base can now cancel you and this. You know what I mean? So it's like mans have to be on media and mans will say, yeah, LeBron is the best in the world. He don't believe that, yo. He don't believe that. You could tell when a man believes it by how he dissects if this man is the best. When they talk about Kobe, they be like, yo, Dog, there's no one who had that type of ability to turn around fade, did it. Like, they're breaking it down. It's believable. They're not capping. But when a man just says, yo, he's the best in the world today, or who's the best, you know, they'll name their plays and they say LeBron, or they don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get into that conversation, but you can tell when man's really, like, mans don't rate the ability like that. Which is why this man don't get no doubles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can really tell. Yes, Giannis is killing, but they don't rate the ability like they don't rate it like that. They don't rate it like that. I mean, they rate it, but like to that level, like this level, like no. Which is why it's a media trained answer on camera. Like, you're not getting. So that's the one thing with Pat Bev, like going guns blazing like that. It was a breath of fresh air to just see someone just on camera do it. It doesn't mean I agree with whatever. My brain can compartmentalize. Bruh, look at that. I can't even speak. Compartmentalize. Can see, okay, I rate this, but I don't rate this. I rate, like, it's not like it's just one and that's it. You know what I'm saying? My brain, like, I'm not emotional like that, where I could see I rate this, but like, no, I don't rate this. But within that one person saying whatever they saying. So, that's kind of like my take, and me just breaking down, the Pat Bev scenario, because it was talked about a lot. And, a lot of people were, he's like, there's on one end of the spectrum or one end of the spectrum, and they kind of was going to bat defending Pat Bev, and some people were just defending Chris Paul, bringing up career accolades. I don't like that too. When someone's talking about something, don't bring up career accolades to me. When we're talking about, like, we're talking about this one thing. It's the same thing like when Dame had a rap beef with Shaq. Don't bring up how his records sell and whatever. We're talking about him rapping. Is he elite in his rap eliteness versus my rap eliteness? Not CD selling. No, just the bars, fam. Just the bars. Don't bring up this career, like, man's that brings shit up out of context. Oh, this player's not better than this player because he's a 4-time MVP, he's a 5-time All-Star, dog, what are we talking about? At this moment, after what you just saw, versus the skill that's being displayed, is this man elite or not? Is this man better than this man or not? That's what we're talking about. Don't bring up, oh, this man never did what he did in his career. Like, I hate when mans do that. Because this is not a career conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not like, come on now. So again, that's kind of like my take on that. You already know it's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no doubt here and there's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Click that notification button so you know when I'm here. Because I'm here. I appreciate y'all, man. You already know. Conference finals. Bruh. Let's see what elite looks like. Let's really see what elite looks like, man. You love to see it. And I'm out, man.